And gentlemen, we are back here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters, Sportswire Radio. And boy, tonight, do we have plenty to talk about. Plenty to talk about in the world of the cult. Plenty to talk about, maybe even in brother versus brother. And we may even have plenty to talk about with some familiar names. Some that the devil has faced, and others that, well, the devil hasn't faced, but not because of the devil, but maybe because of, well, someone controversial. We'll be talking about all of that. Plus, I'm going to have a surprise for the devil himself, and it's actually going to be a surprise that he might actually want. And, we'll talk about also maybe an announcement, TPW related, plus who knows whatever else. And, since we are here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that our guest and TPW most certainly helped build here, Sportswire Radio, to the tune of nearly 1,500 subscribers. And if you're like me, you don't want to check your mutual fund right now, considering what those tariffs are doing. We want to make sure that we give that introduction for our guest, because we know we don't want the devil to turn on us, and he'll certainly do that. He's famously said some things about the devil, and we don't want the devil to go full-fledged cult-like on us. And since you're here in the chat waiting for it, I'm waiting for it, because it's the first time in weeks that I'm 100% going into a show. Usually I'm half asleep, or usually I'm somewhere, and Today I was ready, because we got the TPW World Heavyweight Champion here and the People's Champion. So, ladies and gentlemen, to quote Joe Elliott of Def Leppard, let's get rocked here tonight. Let's start the weekend here in style on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station where all wrestling matters. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get rocked. So with that, further ado here on the Sports Report. Number one, Cable Sports Show, the reigning, defending Texas Promo Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion of the World, and the reigning, defending People's Champion. He is the leader of the cult. His name is simply put, the devil. No. The champ is here, my friend. How are we doing?
I'm doing excellent this evening.
You should be. You're back, for yourself, not usually coming in and, usually just running in and, talking about somebody else or somebody calling you out. You're here, and obviously it's good to have you, champ, and welcome back in prime time on a Friday night. And we have a lot to talk about, I know, tonight.
It's always a pleasure to be on Sportswire.
You definitely are always welcomed, and cult business I'm sure we'll talk about. But speaking of business or business that hasn't happened, let's talk about this. For those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you, the devil Nathaniel Rage, and TPW Texas Promo Wrestling most certainly helped build here, Sportswire Radio. For those that are listening and watching, no business this week? And was it by design, or am I missing something here, sir?
You're right. There is no match for me this week. It's simply because I'm watching for my next target. Every person that I have been put up against, I have vigorously and simply slaughtered.
True. Very true.
When it comes to defending my World Heavyweight Championship, as I told Rocky when I first signed with the company, if you put the strap on me, you're not going to be able to take it off of me until I'm ready to take it off. I mean, that's the reason why I'm the 2-time longest reigning and defending People's Champion.
Well, that was a vote, obviously. I'm sure you're aware of yesterday that there was a vote going around and who should be this week's People's Champion. And, your name was the current champion, and then there were other names being thrown around.
There's always other names, but I mean, it doesn't matter because
Chris Cowabunga, Vinny, any of them ring a bell or nah?
Yeah, I mean, they ring a bell. I mean, I know the smaller tier of people in my kingdom, also known as the peasants, that simply can't get in line. However, I'm watching for the next ones to start rising and simply coming to that occasion of being great. But I say it to the entire roster, and I hope you all are watching. If you step to me, you will get stepped on. I will slaughter you in a vigorous manner. Look what happened to Travis Black. Look how he got etchered out of the arena, courtesy of me.
That's true, and we're going to certainly put up TPW's link up here on Instagram so people can join in and join up with TPW. And interesting thing, actually, I do want to ask you something slightly off topic when it comes to you, but I've noticed some wrestlers that I've actually had on this platform join TPW recently, and no, not that name. We'll get to that name. We'll definitely get to that and plural those names in a little while. One of them you faced off with, but I've noticed that there's actually going to be a battle which we'll obviously see take place at the end of this weekend here. And two names I know very well, and I know them from the backyard in the underground wrestling world, and they've now entered TPW, and that's, first of all, the Evil Angel Judas, who's had a long history against his opponent, Trey Mysticality. They're actually going against each other in TPW. What an interesting scenario there, because these guys have had wars in other places where they've come. These guys have battled for championships. These guys have actually battled in front of a live audience, but now they're going to be battling in front of the legions of the TPW universe. And what's your thoughts on that? Guys now like the Evil Angel Judas and Trey Mysticality coming to your kingdom, coming to where it's your playground, the Devil's playground, and they're trying to make a name for themselves further here. And what's your opinion on some of that?
It's simple. You always have knights battling it out. I mean, that just happens in the kingdom. They always want to achieve a certain status. However, I've been watching Judas and the cult.
I tell you, Judas, he's a talker. He looks like you a little bit. I think he's a little taller than you. He's very charismatic, very opinionated. He is somebody here. I've seen him cook the likes of Dark Kron, a guy who's the underground OG here. I've seen him go toe-to-toe with the likes of Big Man Cam, the former ROEW champion. I've seen him here on this platform with the likes of a man you know very well in James Taylor. I mean, this is a guy that he's with him with a microphone. You just never know, almost like you. I mean, you know, there's a lot of similarities I could definitely see from a personality standpoint.
The cult always welcomes people with open arms. So if Judas, you're listening, you know where to find me.
And he doesn't live too far from you. He's in Ohio. You're in West Virginia. I mean, boy. I mean, maybe hopefully the tariffs haven't increased so much that he can't show up to you. But I mean, there's some similarities there. But just fascinating that I'm seeing guys that have made a name for themselves on this platform that are coming into TPW. And I wonder, though, for them, where they're going to have to make that adjustment. Maybe they've done it in the ring, or maybe they've done it outside on the ground, like in the cases of Trey Mysticality and Judas. Trey Mysticality's also been in a ring, but I wonder, though, what they've done outside of here, if they can make that adjustment and such.
The way I see it, look, I'm a pro wrestler myself. You have to have mic skills to do what we do.
Yes,
and if you guys are going to come in and you are going to work your ass off to be the top tier level talent guy, I'm going to be the first one to tell you, I welcome anyone into TPW with open arms. That's my home.
Amen.
But I will be the one standing at that door greeting you and letting you know the biggest challenge is in front of you.
I agree on that. And if you do want to follow TPW recently surpassed 1,000 followers on Instagram. And of course, TPW is in our Hall of Fame. And TPW has got a lot of stuff going on. Of course, they're going to be a part of the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitation. We're going to see two of the very best in TPW compete in that. And it's actually a good segue. I mean, I don't think I formally asked you on that. I mean, you're the champion right now. So technically, Nathaniel Rage, you're going to Pennsylvania. Technically, you're the guy right now that's going there to the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational and to compete on behalf of TPW against who? I have no idea. And what's your thoughts on that? Because obviously, you're the guy right now that's in position to go there and compete in the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational and have the first ever promo battle in front of a live audience in what proves to be maybe the biggest wrestling super show in this circuit's generation.
The way I see it, I can show up anywhere, anytime, any place. I've said this so many times that it feels a little repetitive, though, because simply you don't know where I'm going to go.
Good point.
I could show up to ROEW. I could show up to numerous other places.
And ROEW is a good one because of James Taylor, a man that you have history with who runs and owns that company.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it would be a shame for me to show up and just simply find Taylor and stomp his head in.
And he's got people that want to find him right now. I mean, Jason Storm, who's going to be in your chair next weekend, along with Natural Selection. I mean, he's been talking about Taylor for weeks and months, as a matter of fact. On this platform, he has been talking about him time and time again, and he still hasn't shown up at his own company. He's been in other places, but not his own. And boy, the irony of that, the devil Nathaniel Rage, you could show up to ROEW before the owner of the company even steps foot.
I mean, it would truly be a shame to show up to ROEW. Not alone, of course, because I could always show up with the cult and we could completely take it over.
You never know. I mean, listen, never say never, to quote Mr. James Taylor. Actually use his own words almost against him. Never say never, I suppose. And we're going to get to the chat because there's some, interesting comments here in the chat. Now, I'll definitely get to some of those names, and we'll have maybe a laugh or maybe a laugh at their expense. We'll certainly get to those things. But, okay, so obviously you're not in action this week, but you'll most certainly be in action next week. And and you'll definitely be in action. And I'm sure your cult brethren you'll be definitely watching very closely here this week.
Oh, absolutely. I'm watching each and every one of them because they know that failure is not an option in my kingdom. Victory is always the option. And if they fail, they're going to be punished.
So what do you tell them then going into this weekend, where we know that we're going to see, all the match promos to come out here, and go to the TPW Instagram page right around, I think it's 11 o'clock Eastern time, and get ready, and Rocky will announce the results and the winners. But I mean, what are you telling them now that you're not in action? You could devote full resources to make sure the likes of Devin Adams, the likes of Zach Clark and Killshot get those big wins needed.
See, a lot of people look at me as someone who just obtains crappy talent, in the words of people. I see it as they're lost. They found their way to me for a reason. They've improved, and they don't need me out there to make them win. Why? Because it's simple. I might be the forefront of the cult. I might be sitting on the throne and in the kingdom, but they're the ones doing my bidding. They're the ones doing my work. And if you need me to stand ringside with you to make sure that you win a match. Well, simply, that's embarrassing. I know my men are more than capable of doing what they need to do, but they also know that if they fail me, that something happens. See, there's this thing in the brain called fear, and fear is only an illusion. If you erase fear, you become simply immortal. And that's what's happened with Devin and Killshot and everyone else. And well, with my big surprise, that'll be coming soon.
Oh well, we'll definitely have to find out and soon. And since I guess I'll make a joke maybe, and you'll maybe laugh, or maybe you'll say I'm nuts. But since some say you take crappy talent, and considering how crappy the stock market's been the last 2 days, and not to talk about my mutual fund too much, maybe you can take then what's happened the last 2 days, and since people say you turn around crappy talent, maybe you can turn around the crappy stock market the last 2 days. Some of us are dealing with these tariffs, so hopefully on Monday, then when they ring the bells there in Wall Street, you can improve the stock market a bit, because the way things are going the last 2 days, I would hope that the stock market doesn't ring the bell anytime soon.
Well, hopefully things go back to normal, but
yeah.
I simply see it as like this. Look, I'm from Appalachia. Money is simply materialistic things that the government use to control you. In my kingdom, we don't have money. It's simple. You get what you want when you want, but if I catch you committing a crime that's treasonous, well, to quote my demigod, off with their heads.
Okay, off with the heads. I mean, some people might have wanted to have their heads chopped off the last days, but I'll I'm sure I have a few more jokes at that expense, or my own expense. But that's okay. Don't feel too bad for me. Thankfully, I don't have all of my funds tied into that. But we'll leave that at that for another time. But we're here on Sportzwire Radio right now with the reigning, defending TPW World Heavyweight Champion and the People's Champion himself, the Devil, Nathaniel Rage. And if you're here on Sportzwire Radio, give us a like, give us a share, give us a follow, and we'll have a lot to talk about here over the next hour plus, and we'll get to your comments here very shortly. Plus, I'm going to have an announcement here, the first of a few announcements. I'm going to announce it right here. So in your chair, 15 days from now, it'll be 2 weeks on the 19th. I figured what better way? WrestleMania starts that day, and 5 o'clock Eastern time, the man himself makes his long-awaited return to Sportswire Radio. Mr. Rocky himself, Texas Red, is back on Sportswire Radio. I know that everyone's going to be focused on Mania. Everyone's going to be focused on night one and who's going to be on it. But Texas Red Rocky makes his return to talk all things TPW and what's next. And he'll be here. That's right. April 19th, 5 o'clock Eastern time.
I'm looking forward to it. Rocky is a very good friend of mine. Not just because he pays me, but he's a very good friend of mine.
He's a good friend. Okay, well, you know what? Then we'll have to see, and we'll talk, obviously, match promos, different things like that. But, okay, obviously, let's talk about, though, for a minute before I come back into TPW. I know there's people here in the chat. We're going to give them an opportunity to say something to you. But let's talk about your brother here, because, obviously, your brother and you, it looks like sooner rather than later, you and him are definitely going to be butting heads, figuratively and literally, and so what's going to happen there? 3 stages of hell, boy, in the Devil's Playground. And let's talk about what's ahead very soon with you and your brother.
The main reason why any of this is happening is simply because my baby brother has always wanted to outdo the spotlight. In the Rage bloodline, there are multiple brothers, me being the middle and him being the smallest. But he always believes, for some reason, that he is better than me. And what you all are witnessing right now is him trying to teach the pathetical peasant lot how to do a back bump. But it's simple. He didn't see it coming.
He didn't.
And that's where it's been like that our entire lives. He's always been the one that wants to outshine all of us. But for some reason, he always ends up underneath my foot.
literally.
I mean, I can go on and on and on, but I simply think that the people want to know what's the 3 matches going to be. So let's let them know.
Let's talk about it. I mean, we're here. I put it up right. What just happened here not too long ago between you and him? Let's talk about it.
The first match will be a regular match.
Okay.
No disqualification. Simple. The only way you can win is pinfall or submission.
Good
The
deal.
second match is an Extreme Rules match.
Extreme Rules.
Anything goes. And the only way to win that one, which is what I added in for my stipulation, is by submission or knockout.
Or knockout?
And if necessary, if we truly need it, Appalachian match.
Appalachia match?
For the ones that don't know what that is, it's something me and my brothers and my cousins and the whole Rage family bloodline has done for many, many years.
Yes, sir.
But it's simple. No rules, no time limit. The only way to win is by knockout. You can call it a last man standing, basically, but regardless, the only being that's going to be standing is me over the carcass of him.
Well, I'll tell you what that sounds like. That sounds like a Motley Crue song called Till Death Do Us Part. And maybe one of those other Motley Crue songs that's very famous, you might be, Nathaniel Rage, be shouting, well, rather as at the devil, to your brother, because you're going to be, if you have your way, literally, death do us part. Death do us part. Knockout. The last stage. Knockout.
I told him that if he wins, I will admit that he's truly worthy to be a part of the Rage bloodline, and he's one, if not the greatest, youngest members of the family to emerge.
I see.
If he loses, which is my surprise, he will be joining the cult by my side and will do every single thing I say, for he will be a part of TPW.
Whoa! Repeat that again for the audience, because I might need to get my ears checked, but I just want to make sure that I heard that again. So say that again for the audience.
If Christian Rage loses to his big brother, he will be by my side in the CULT and will be a part of TPW.
Well, it sounds like Christian Rage, the way Nathaniel Rage is talking tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Christian Rage is going to LOSE, lose. And that means he's going to be joining to the C, to the U, to the L, to the T, to the cult. And Nathaniel Rage is going to grow the cult to even, well, bigger numbers, and they're all around us. And I'm, oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, we are certainly getting quite the rage against the machine here, figuratively and literally. And I didn't even have to bring out Tom Morello and Zach De La Rocha here for this one, because Nathaniel Rage is definitely quite the rage tonight. And if you want to follow, first of all, Nathaniel Rage and his YouTube channel, give him a sub. Definitely check that out here. But you can go do that and join the cult, and or not join the cult, but do give him a sub. And definitely let's get to some people here in the chat. The people want to talk to you. I think it's time now. So we'll take this off the screen. We'll take that off. See, the chat is definitely getting live. And to use another Motley Crue reference, we're definitely live wire here. So, I mean, I've had on Zebra and King's X, and, we've had, I've spoke to Vinny Appice and David Ellison. So we'll leave that at that. But Zilla is here. Of course, Zilla was first, and Zilla this time is first. The last few times she hasn't been first, but she's definitely saying hello. And the man who's going to be here in 15 days, Mr. Texas Red himself. And do you like Rocky's haircut? Because he's almost matching your hairstyle now.
Absolutely. It looks great.
I'm having a hard time getting used to it. I have to.
I am too, but I mean,
you said it was great. I didn't. Well, he's paying you, so maybe you should say it's great. He's paying you.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying in general, it's great. I'm not saying that because he's paying me.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then, it's a different show, different point. And yes, hello to Rocky. We love Rocky. And speaking of people who's got a few things to say about you, the boogeyman himself, the IMF World Heavyweight Champion on his platform, He's definitely going to be here Thursday night, but I think
Mhm.
Sunday night we're going to do an IMF themed show. So he might want to tune in. He'll probably be here for that, but there'll be details on tomorrow's show. Tomorrow's show is Torrance Banks, and I have Brian White, the Deathmatch Juggalo. So you'll get a doubleheader tomorrow because Wednesday I took off. I was doing news on Wednesday, but the funny thing was we didn't do the tariffs. I should have did the tariffs on Wednesday, but then the tariffs happened after we did the show. So it was kind of like a bummer. Now we should have did it, but that's okay. I probably would have jumped out of the window if I would have talked tariffs. But don't jump out the window. Stay with us. Don't feel too bad for me. Devin Adams is here. Yes, he is here. The devil, my brother. What's up, Oos? Yep. How you doing, Devin? Devin is definitely always welcomed here on the platform. Yes, hello to Omen Black. Who else we got here? Yep, thank you for that. And yes, thank you, Blood and Honor Wrestling, for tuning in. We appreciate you. Definitely check them out. Blood and Honor Wrestling, new company. I see you here on the screen. I will definitely put your YouTube link up in a minute. So thank you very much for finding us. I appreciate that very much. I get a lot of new subscribers, which is always great. So if you want to check out Blood and Honor Wrestling, I actually just gave them a follow. So definitely if ever a fan of them. So check them out here. Here's their YouTube channel. So if you want to check them out, there you go. They got a number of different things. And yep, they had their first episode, short, simple, to the point. So when I go out and have a bite to eat for 10 minutes, I can sit there and watch it. That's what I love. I love when it's right and to the point. So thank you very much for tuning in. I'm on Instagram at the Sports Report 2021. And I'll give you 2 more subs when we're off the air because we're on 3 different YouTube channels right now. We're on one of them there. That's the PWF page. We'll be on the Sportswire and the Pride Wrestling Federation pages. So check that out. So we'll make sure to give you 2 more subs there. Thank you so much.
I'll even give him a sub as well.
Oh, I just gave him the link. I just put the link up there. Then people will follow him and give him a sub. Devin is here if you need him. Well, we'll see how things go in a little while. We'll see how things go. Speaking of people that have something to say, or maybe not so much something to say, Mr. Ox McCoy, the IMF Hardcore Champion, wants to say hello. And of course, we love Ox. And Ox, we appreciate him very much. And give TPW a follow on Instagram. And yes, thank you very much for that. And here's his great comment. Nicholas Crenson would do way better in promo wrestling. Well, I mean, some people would say maybe or maybe not. I'll go ahead and retire him from the ring next week, and he can join the promo rank. So maybe Nicholas Crenson can join TPW, according to Ox McCoy. That would be interesting. I mean, he's a guy that's also called himself the devil in the past. He's also talked about things that you have. But I mean, you're the only Nathaniel Rage. You're the only devil. You're the only leader of the cult. So, Mr. Crenson, maybe there isn't room for him in the cult. Maybe there isn't room in TPW for you and him. So I'll leave that at that. But thank you very much, Ox, for that comment. And will Nicholas Crenson retire next Saturday? Who really knows? But he'll have to find out and step foot with what Mr. McCoy is going to do. He's got 2 other opponents to contend with in Europe, the Viking, and Mephisto there. But we'll have to figure that out. And there you go. And the lovely Athena is here. Yep, she is very, very, very lovely, and we want to appreciate her tuning in. So thank you so much. And she's from the friendly confines of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Thank you. We'll put her link up in a minute. And are your eyes open? Well, Zilla's eyes better be open because she's watching us right now. You better be open up here. But there is the man, the host of the Dark Chronicles, Mr. Darkron, who's actually had quite a history with Judas. And Mr. Judas famously, I didn't want to shake Mr. Kron's hand. And Mr. Judas has said quite a bit about Mr. Kron on social media. Mr. Kron just wrestled in ROBW. He wrestled for the ROBW World Championship against next Saturday's guest, Jason Storm, the Puppet Master. But that match ended due to a low blow. And I won't low blow everybody here in bringing that match up again. But I hope everyone, it's just terrible what's going on with the storms. I don't know if you've been impacted by the storms. Is it okay, everything?
Actually, I believe it was Wednesday night, maybe Thursday. I have never experienced this in Appalachia ever because we live in the mountains. So we had tornado sirens going off. I have never experienced that.
Wow.
We've experienced flooding. Flooding is typical. But from like 4:30 in the morning to 6, there was nothing but tornado sirens.
Jeez. Well, you might be the devil, but I guess you couldn't stop the tornado sirens.
Nah, they just bypassed me. They know.
I'm sorry to hear. Yeah, I mean, terrible what's going on in the Midwest and some of the surrounding areas. And yes, my thoughts and prayers to everybody impacted. And it's crazy weather here in New York. One day I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. Then Monday I'll be back in a winter coat. And then
sounds like West Virginia.
Yeah, Saturday I was out. I'm a commissioner of deeds. I'm a New York City commissioner of deeds. I'm knocking on doors to get a candidate on the ballot, and it I was sweating through my shirt and windbreaker pants. It was like 80 degrees out. Then 2 days later, I'm in a coat freezing. You never know right now. But give Nathaniel's YouTube channel a follow. We appreciate that. And apparently, Lyra Limber has joined to say Nathaniel Rage eats corn the long way. Just bypass that comment. Just bypass it. Just bypass it.
I mean, it's fine. I'm used to, the peasants on the very bottom being down there. It's hard being the king because usually they can't even lace my own boots.
Well, the TPW former hardcore champion who's left TPW to go, and do the journey of training and also be a part of NEW Underground Wrestling. Of course, our beautiful friends in NEW and the Riot in the Ring too. And genuine question: what is a tranarchist? And Lyra answers that in a few comments, so we'll get to that. And Ox McCoy, my eyes are still open. I look and accept the truth. It sounds like an Alter Bridge song. Let's move on and away from the Alter Bridge and Creed references. Hello to Darkron. Speaking of our friends in NEW, Mr. Jake Dvorak, of course, Mr. Unholy himself, the Devil and Unholy meeting each other. That's kind of not a shock to me. And two men that will probably get along. Oh, you know him? Okay, well, yeah, a lot of people do.
Yes, I'm hoping that. I'm just going to go ahead and say this. If any of the NEW guys, any of the ROEW guys, any IMF guys, I welcome you to come to my kingdom. I hate to say this, but I need a little bit of a challenge.
Well, there's one man, by the way, that, he's obviously talked about you, and you haven't, stepped up into that kingdom with him. And I think you know who I'm talking about. And,
yeah.
And that man that, he says he's controversial. He's the reason we have this. And, he is the IMF United States champion, Anthony Steele, who will be making his way back to Sportswire Radio, especially on Thursday and probably before that. And, that's one man that works in the IMF that, hasn't stepped into your kingdom yet.
The way I see it, once he beats James Taylor in a promo match, then he can start saying my name.
But for him, he's going to think that that's yeoman's work.
Assuming that he can even get past James Taylor, because every time I'm either watching Sportswire or James pops up, it's always Anthony is not trying to steal his spotlight, but be in it.
Yeah, that's been going on for with us here about 2 years, and overall for about 4 between those two. So yeah, it certainly transcends IMF, another couple of companies we won't name here, but yeah, they've got quite a history. But I mean, Anthony, if the powers that be grant Anthony and James in a promo match, that would certainly be talked about probably like for days here on this platform. So and I would even since Rocky is coming here on the 19th. And again, Rocky and I have a great relationship. He and I talk, it's always great. I love what you guys do in TPW. And, it's always a lot of fun having TPW talent here. But, WrestleMania weekend's coming up in 2 weeks. I'm sure you're aware of it. Don't you think that a WrestleMania-like promo match would be Anthony Steele and James Taylor? I mean, could you imagine that? I mean, that would make a lot of sense, right, in TPW to make that match. I mean, and again, it's not my company. Rocky's a great man. He's a busy man. This man gets, he's like me, gets very little sleep. He's always at the gym. I mean, the man's really transcended his life. He's, he's trying to live now in an RV, and, he's really forward-thinking guy. That's why he doesn't have to rely on these tariffs too much. But I would think Anthony Steele and James Taylor, just to have a WrestleMania-like promo match, WrestleMania weekend, that would be what I would book. I don't know about you.
I personally would. I would love to see it.
Me too. I think that, and I could you imagine? We talk about that for like 2 days in a row consecutively here on Sportswire. I mean, that's what I would do if I'm Rocky. But he's got a lot of great talent, and maybe he wants to situate one guy there, someone else there. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. I mean,
I'll say this, Rocky. If you can get Omen Black in TPW, I'll verse him.
Well, he's here in the chat. Don't you worry. He's here in the chat. There's a lot more comments. The chat's getting hot right now. We're getting a lot of people here to tune in tonight. Thank you very much. And thank you, Ox. Yes, right on here. And yes, hello to Jake. We love Jake. And F the system, it's genitalia rectum. And also, tranarchist equals transgender anarchist. Thank you very much for clarifying that for Oxlear. We appreciate that very much. And we thank Lyra for being here. And apparently, hashtag Rage can't wrestle. But which Rage, though? Which Rage?
Which Rage are we talking about? The little pipsqueak brother of mine or or
That's a
me.
great point. Dun-dun-dun. And you can hit the sub and check out more of Nathaniel's videos there. And who else we got there? Also, Nathaniel is certainly getting an opinion here, an earful from Lyra. God keep this bloodline story out of TPW.
Lyra, whenever you come back to TPW, assuming that you may ever come back, because I know you went running scared. Maybe you should know your what's the words I'm looking for? Know your place and be at the very, very bottom, because if you come back to my kingdom, I'm going to slaughter you.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna certainly say, don't, bring your daughter to the slaughter to quote Iron Maiden. But Omen Black is here, and I told you he had a comment. Some might find this strange, but I respect Nathaniel Rage for his promo work. The boogeyman tips his hat to. I've known Omen Black for a while. I've known him for over 2 years. He's graced this platform. He's definitely been here with some of the who's who in the platform, and he's one of the guys responsible for getting the likes of Doug Pinnick here and Randy Jackson and Rhino and Savio Vega and some of the others. But it's very rare that he actually says he respects someone. And, well, congratulations, I think.
I have the utmost respect for Omen Black.
Me too.
Me and him has chatted a few times. I would love to have a match with him. Just to have him in TPW really would be fun because, you never know who could join the cult.
But what a WrestleMania weekend that would be. Think about this. You want to talk about headlines, a double main event. You could have in one corner the devil himself, Nathaniel Rage, the reigning defending TPW World Heavyweight Champion, and the boogeyman of the Midwest, the IMF World Heavyweight Champion, Omen Black, and then an award that's been 4 years in counting. The nemesis James Taylor, and the most controversial figure in wrestling history, the real deal Anthony Steele. And boy, you don't even have to have any other promo matches. That would just have those two, and and then you and Omen. Oh my goodness, we could be talking about that for days.
Absolutely, Rocky. You hear Tom? Maybe start making some calls. Let's make it happen.
Well, thank you, Rocky, but I'd like to have a. We'll leave that at that because there is actually a thing that is very well known called WeChat, which is WII chat, which is big in the Asian communities because obviously I know a lot of people in the Asian communities, and I'm actually on WeChat, but I haven't used WeChat in God knows how long. But that's a different kind of WeChat. I will agree. I'm not much for talking, just yelling and bleeding. Yeah, that's why he reigns in blood, sends his messages in blood, and is in blood. And my buddy, Mr. Jacob Collins, is here, the former ROBW World Heavyweight Champion, the gunslinger who has a bullseye on his back, figuratively and literally, from the likes of Cash Carter and Jason Storm. Did like to say hello. And yes, check out Blood Honor Wrestling. We appreciate them very much. And Yurt, thank you. Yep. Who else we got? And Wednesday nights, my son's bedroom, which Mr. Joeston was 8 feet from getting hit by a huge tree limb. It wrecked the laundry room, the roof through, but everyone was fine. Well, thank God for that. That's, again, terrible. I've been following the news on it, and just my thoughts and prayers to people going through or went through these storms here, and just absolutely heartbreaking to hear people going through these things. And he is here, Nathaniel. And WSG and whatever. What's good? Yep, what's good?
Yeah.
Yep, we knew it's Michael Malice, who's been talking a lot about 4-8, and he's here, Michael Malice.
I'll go ahead and I will say this, Ox. If you like blood, you like gore, which I think me and Tom can talk a little bit about it. If y'all remember what Feast Day was, y'all remember how that went.
Well, let's just say it was almost like people in the red seeing their 401ks and their mutual fund accounts. And they called yesterday Liberation Day, but I'll leave that at that. Michael Malice eats corn the long way. Again, the corn references and not the band. And you eat corn the long way. And then, yep, how you doing, Jake? How you doing? Michael Malice, more like Michael Minor. We'll leave that at that. Buddy, your name is Cody Rhodes' worst era. We'll leave that at that. We're going to say who else we got here. And we're doing good. Everybody's doing good. Please support our friends in TPW. Let me put the link up for TPW. You want to check out TPW. It's a great segue. We have a lot of people here, a lot of different people here right now on Sportswire. So what we're here for is to promote our friends in TPW. You'd like to join TPW. You like to talk to Rocky and you want to give him some ideas. You want to tell him how you feel. Check out TPW right here. I know I have a lot of comments. We'll get to you. We'll come back to you. But that's TPW's page. And we're here with the World Heavyweight Champion, which I still have something for you still. So I still have something for you. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Let's get through some people in the chat. But that is the devil himself, Nathaniel Rage. And yes, thank you, Rocky. Who else we have here in the chat? Okay. You were begging for a shot at my hardcore title before I vacate. Okay, let's go to the positives. The door is open. All it takes is a simple message. So there you go. The door is open, and Rocky's here right before WrestleMania, literally. Mm-hmm. And thank you, Jacob. Thank you to our friends in ROBW. ROBW, definitely check out Darkron and Jason Storm tonight, and Darkron's Dark Chronicles with our friend Soldier GP, the All Wrestling Matters World Heavyweight Champion, was on the show. Okay, you relinquished it before I got a shot. Well, I mean, we'll move on from that. Respect your elders. Okay, we're gonna go on. If I join, let's go to this though. Let's go to business. If I join, I got a proposal. If I step into your world of promo wrestling, then you have to meet me in my world in the ring. So, what's your thoughts on that?
The same response I always say.
What? What's that?
I can show up anytime, any place, anywhere, really. But I can make it happen.
So are you saying that if Mr. Black does step into TPW and has a promo match with you, that you're comfortable going to the Palo Community Center and stepping in the ring with this man who's a hardcore god and a boogeyman of the Midwest? And oh, by the way, the IMF World Heavyweight Champion, the leader of the House of Wolves, Mr. Roman Black?
I mean, if it comes down to it, absolutely. Because the way I see it, leader of the House of Wolves, meet the leader of the cult. And I've been doing this for a long time. You might be the boogeyman of the Midwest, and I mean this with the utmost respect, Omen. I don't have to be the boogeyman of Appalachia. I'm the horrors that was created in these mountains.
Well, we'll have to see more comments. And Soldier GP has given his opinion. I'm interviewing Judge Doom. Okay, well, we'll leave that at that. Rocky is listening. Thank you, Rocky. We appreciate that very much. And we respect the Devil Nathaniel Rage. Yes, we do. And Instagram, there is Instagram. Thank you for that. And yep, the Not All Wrestling Matters World Champion has arrived. And he was just on Mr. Darkron's show, the Dark Chronicles. So obviously he's paying close attention. Yep, how we doing? And I want to say hello to my buddy who was supposed to be here this morning, and I hope he's feeling better. That is Mr. Ace Reed, the hardcore kid himself, who's supposed to be coming to America, by the way. And yes, don't worry. Yes, feel better, my friend. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your friendship, as always. And if you want to follow our friends at Wrestling Zero, definitely do that. Please support them. And obviously, Ace has been a longtime friend, and I want to support those that have obviously supported us. And some of the reasons why we have those great people that come on the platform, like Doug Pinnock, like Randy Jackson, like all those great names we talk about here time and time again in our own little introductions and our hype videos. Check out Wrestling Zero. Also, Ace has got a YouTube channel, so check out there. He's on both channels. And thank you, Ace. I hope you feel better, my friend. But let's get to some more people. Yep. The horrors. And yep, we're going to be here on the 19th, and we have a lot to talk about there. Thank you, Rocky, for that. And yep, he's forgiven. He is the bell collector. Yes, yes, yes. And yep, we hope he gets better. Okay, we'll take this off the screen. Okay, I do want to give you something, but we'll wait a little more longer, for 5 or 10 minutes. So obviously, we talked a little bit about maybe some different people. We talked about obviously cult business coming up here this week. We've spoke about your brother. I mean, but so what else is next? What's next for the Devil Nathaniel Rage?
Well, other than defending my championship and slaughtering everyone that comes towards me, trying to take my crown, mainly just focusing, getting back onto YouTube. So many people has asked me, And even speaking of my merchandise, that's going to be.
But I'm going to put that up in a minute. I actually do have the merchandise page, but we'll go to that next.
I'm having new merchandise drop tonight, anyways. But I've had so many people ask me what happens next in the story. Mm-hmm. I love to create scary movies and horror content. That's just who I am. And I have said this numerous times to the people that are subscribed. Leave a comment, like it, explain to me what you want to see what's happened next, because the only reason why we cut out on the very last episode of the devil finding the park ranger and Nathan simply disappearing is because nobody has told me what to do next. I have ideas, but I want to hear it from the world, what they want to see.
Interesting. What does the world want to see from the devil Nathaniel Rage? What do you want to see? What should the devil Nathaniel Rage do next? That's a great question. And that's, almost a rhetorical one. And if you're here in the chat, I have a lot of people here in the chat, you actually have that opportunity to ask. And before I come back to the YouTube channel, hello there to the JD show. Thank you. Yep. Sup. And if you're here, hit the sub button for us. Yep. Hit the sub button for us. And while you're even at it, you can actually hit the sub button for Nathaniel Rage's channel, and I'm actually going to put it up here right again for you, so you can maybe take a look at what you might want Nathaniel Rage to do. You might want something for him. You might want something for someone to do to him, and there's somebody else that next wants that. That's his YouTube channel. You can check out some of the videos here that are up. There's a bunch of different things, so definitely get the content going. The viewership is up on his YouTube page. He's got a lot of stuff. So we've talked about it in the past, and join the movement. But Mr. Black would like to say something else. Listen, we both know this is a fact. The moment you step into my world, the devil will finally be face to face with one who is more wicked and nefarious than the devil. Does the devil bleed? ? He will.
Well, to answer your question, I possess Nathan. This is simply a vessel. Of course I bleed. Does it make me immortal? No. But the things that I've done in my past is what makes me the devil. And you can say that you're wicked, but let me ask you something, Omen. You ever been to Appalachia? You know the stories of what us mountain folks do? If I step in a ring with you, you're about to see why they talk about the legend of the man in the red hood.
But he's the one that's a farmer. He's on these big tractors where he lives, and he's basically where all the fields are, almost, to quote a Megadeth song, Elysian fields. He's basically at fields for endless, and people, they're like almost mazes. They never come back and never come out alive. This is a man that he's a part of a house of wolves. So for him, that might be where he's even more comfortable, because where his playground is in some ways is similar to yours.
Absolutely. But as I've said this once, I'll say it again. Wolves on the food chain are predators, if they're not. But there's always something bigger out there that can take it down. There's a grizzly bear. There's a mountain lion. It may not take down all the wolves, but it takes down that one. And then it starts a chain effect. One gets a slash, it gets an infection. One gets its neck ripped out, it bleeds to death. The moral of the story is there's always a bigger predator out there. And Omen, you're looking at him.
Oh, I tell you what, I know Rocky's out there, and I know that he's listening. He's already said it. And to me, it sounds like I would make this match WrestleMania weekend. I would certainly go ahead and do it. Nathaniel Rage, the devil. He's the TPW World Heavyweight Champion. Omen Black is the IMF World Heavyweight Champion. And to have that match, that to me sounds like a no-brainer. And then on top of that, James Taylor and Anthony Steele, this time in TPW. That to me sounds like that's the weekend. That's it. Those are the matches. That's all you need, because you could talk about the promotion here. We'll talk about that for days. So that's what I would do. But, we'll have to see if that can be contractually agreed upon. thank you for that, JD, and we'll check you out. Give me a link.
I do have something to address.
Let's address it before I go and give you something and get some more comments. We have a lot of comments still.
James Taylor, you have been talking an awful little lot in the locker room.
He has been a big mouth. He has been a big mouth. Yes, he has.
I'll admit it. Okay, you beat me. You got lucky. Good. You know how many people it took that I went through for one person?
In a non-title match, though. In a non-title match.
True. You believe that you are well deserving of this? Okay, well, let me make this clear. I have done everything that management says. I've been in every stipulation, every match. I've went through the handicaps. I've went through the fatal four-ways to achieve this. But if you simply want this so bad, we're going to do it on my terms, my way. And if you, Rocky, are watching, which I know you are, maybe at the next pay-per-view, if he somehow earns an opportunity, James Taylor versus the Devil inside of the structure I have never been beaten in. Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell for that? For the richest prize in all of promo wrestling, the TPW World Heavyweight Championship? James Taylor, the Nemesis, takes on the Devil, Nathaniel Rage, in a match that he's never lost in?
Oh, and James, there's a reason why I want you in that particular match. No one can get in, and no one can get out. And if you try to run...
Don't worry, he's older. He can't run as well as you. Don't you worry.
True. The cult will be outside that cage.
Oh! And you potentially could have more cult members by your side by then.
True. But if you want it...
He shouldn't show up. You know what? Maybe he should focus on, he's back on the trampoline now like you. He's made a return to trampoline wrestling. Mm-hmm. He's trying to go after the PWF Uprising Championship against Dalton Skull. And now, there's obviously talks of him and going to other places. His own company we spoke about, he hasn't shown up there. So maybe in this case, James Taylor, the Nemesis, he shouldn't want a match with you again because what happened last time, that was a fluke. That was a regular match. But you, Hell in a Cell, with the Colt outside, in a match where his knees could certainly fail him because he can't run as quick as you. And then if he does run out of there, forget about it. Forget about it. All those cult members, and there could be more cult members by then. Maybe James Taylor should just focus on having that match with Anthony Steele, having a match this week, and just, forget about dealing with you. Just forget about it.
I versed somebody one time in a Hell in a Cell.
You did?
I obtained a World Heavyweight Championship in that cell. And what I did to them, because they tried to get away from me, they crawled up. I lined them up in the right position. And Tom, that's a 20-foot drop if you land into that ring.
It's almost like people's mutual funds and 401ks the last 2 days.
Exactly. I hit him with the COD, a stomp to the back of his head, and he fell through the top of that structure, straight through to the ring. And the match was stopped due because he couldn't do anything anymore. So if you're feeling froggy, Taylor, leap.
No, he can't. He's going on 41. He's coming up on 41 on April 25th. No, he can't leap. He's 41.
I mean, it's okay because I'll be the reason why I end his career.
Jason Storm has talked about wanting to end his career. Anthony Steele always talks about how many times he's beat him. Soldier GP, who's here in the chat, has always talked about just wanting to stunner James Taylor. Then there's Dalton Skull. Then there's Justin Parsley, the whole monster of Sportswire Radio. Forget about all of them. Nathaniel Rage, if he has his way, he's going to stomp a mud hole in the career of the Nemesis, James Taylor. And could the Devil Nathaniel Rage be saying afterwards, oh, hell yeah. I don't know. Maybe this match shouldn't happen. We love James Taylor too much. We can't see this. We can't let this happen. We can't let it happen. It just can't. But speaking of people, because the chat now is fired up. Dark Crown wants to say Nathaniel Rage reminds me of a baby MJF. Does he not? His looks and his promo delivery.
I've heard that one too many times, but I get paid more than MJF, so it's fine.
And you got the better looking other half.
Exactly.
Because Alicia touts nothing on your misses. Alicia touts.
True, and you know the funny thing is, my fiance didn't leave me.
Well, obviously that's that, and apparently, James Taylor, messages. I think he's here. He must be here because he messaged me. He sent me his reel in TPW. Let's see if he's here in the chat. We'll play it. If not, we'll we'll see. We'll think about it. And Zilla has a wrestling match on your YouTube channel. Okay, well, thank you. Not mine, but whose YouTube channel?
Mine?
Yeah, I don't know whose match. Clarify that. And we'd love to see Nathaniel Rage anywhere he wants to go. And the Devil's salvation will be sweet. We'll see what Omen's doing. Let's get to some more comments here first. I want to see the Devil versus the Boogeyman. They want to see it.
It may happen. You never know.
Well, we'll get to some more comments. When you were a mere child, Nathaniel, and you were scared of the dark, heard a bump in the night, thought you heard voices speaking in the shadows, your mom would tell you there's no such thing as
the Boogeyman.
Well,
so much mediocrity here. I mean, you remind me of a knockoff Michael Myers.
Well, Halloween's we have about 8 months to Halloween.
Oh, I'm waiting for Halloween. It's my night, Devil's night.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure we'll have a bunch of this past year on Sportswire, Halloween was rather interesting. We'll leave that at that. Run and you'll only die tired. And I think he's probably talking about you, not Mr. Taylor in this one. Hello to Kyle Shelby. For the showing up the prodigal son, the Lord have it thus indeed. Thank you for that. Thank you, Devin. Nathaniel Rage versus Jadarius Dream.
I know who this is. It's JD. He's a good friend of mine.
Okay. Tell us.
You come to TPW,
yes,
JD, and I'll make sure that happens. Because Rocky is always looking for more talent to bring in because it's starting to become tiresome for him to find challengers for me because it's simple. I may lose a battle here and there, but I'm always winning the war. So if you're feeling froggy, I will continuously say, leap.
All right. Now, I also want to read off a second part to Mr. Black's comment because we had this comment here, but from Mr. Black, his direct messaged me that unfortunately here on our end, YouTube cut off the second comment, and there's probably a reason that YouTube has their standards. But let me read it off to you here so you can hear it again. And Mr. Black would like to say, the Boogeyman. How does it feel that, in his words, your mother had to lie to you? The Boogeyman is very real. You are currently knocking on his door. I'd advise you knock it off before I crucify you like the carpenter. Crucify you like the carpenter. Yes.
That's adorable. You know how many people has brung up religious attributes against me? Let me guess. Your next thing you're going to say is, I'm going to throw holy water on you. It doesn't work. See, I'm an angelic being. I'm not simply just a demon. Angelicness and being evil are two mere different things. Holy water throws you back to hell. You throw it on me, and I'm going to spit in your face and stomp your head in.
Well, if you do want to buy some merchandise with whatever little savings you have left, considering the last 2 days, you can do that here on the TeePublic store of Nathaniel Rage, and I put the link up here for it. So you have a bunch of different shirts. You got.
I will be having new merch drop tonight, so there will be more added to that.
All right. Well, if you want to, you got a 35% off deal, which is up for another, I'd say 5.5 to 6 hours more. So go to the TeePublic store. I put the link up for it. So check that out. So
I've got shirts, I've got stickers, I've got cups, I've got hats, you name it, I've got it.
You definitely can get all of it right here in this link. So there you go. So we'll take that off the screen. I got a lot more comments for you. So let's see here. Hold up. Why does our age matter? We run circles around most you boys. Well, James's legs aren't Darkron's legs. Darkron can do, martial arts still with his kicks. We don't know what James's kicks are. The point was that James is, Mr. Kron's, he's in great shape. He's but James is not here. So, we don't really know what he'd have to say. And Yep. Thank you, Kyle, for this comment. Thank you for that. Yep. His right hand man is here. That's true. He is the right hand man, but did come short when it came to winning back the ROEW championship, James Taylor. But let's come back to Mr. Black. Cursed be the ground for our sake, both thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for us. For out of the ground we were taken for the dust that we are, and to the dust we shall return, Nathaniel.
You want to know a little thing about me, Tom? See, I'm always full of surprises. See, the vessel I inhabited, everyone says, Nathaniel, your mom this, your mom that. Well, that's suppressed. Nathan's not here right now, but I can give you a little bit of a thing about Nathan.
Sure.
Other than being trained in professional wrestling, he's also trained in Muay Thai and kickboxing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I'm very dangerous when it comes to that. So anyone that wants to step up, and I mean, Rocky, next week you give me a submission match, I'll gladly put one of your boys to sleep.
Well, I mean, I'm going to definitely say, let's get to some more comments, because I'm not getting into the ring with Nathaniel Rage, but we'll get to some more comments. How about that instead? And the devil who fell from the skies above, and lactose intolerance, a silly super pop, and a crackle from the spackle. Definitely appreciate the poetry, and hello to Kyle. Yes. Michael Myers doesn't talk. Laughing my butt off. Thank you for that. I'm always open to letting people in. All it takes is a simple, direct message. I'm a businessman. I agree with that. As one fellow businessman to another. Although, like I said, I'm not looking at my mutual fund the last 2 days because I would want to maybe turn into dust. But no, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. We went through COVID and we went through 2021, but we'll leave that at that. But we'll hit the sub button for us and follow, get to merchandise. And serendipitous, scrumptious, and humpadarius, thank you for the lines. And yep, okay, Nathaniel should find Jesus, but the devil might be Jesus, you've said in prior shows.
I can be anything. A snake, a spider. I mean, think of it like this. It's even on one of my shirts. TPW is an apple. And if everyone knows the story about what the devil did to the apple and gave it to Eve, think of it like this. TPW as a whole is that apple, but the hand that's holding it is Rocky's. But what's wrapped around that hand? It's a serpent, because my grasp is so, what's the word I'm looking for? Enticed and entwined into the downright roots of TPW. I'm not letting go anytime soon.
Well, he's definitely real, and buy a shirt. Just he's real, and buy a shirt for him. So there you have it. Okay, we got that. I used to do the trampoline backyard wrestling, and he couldn't hold a candle to me. That's what Darius wants to say.
Come down, we'll find out.
Okay, Nathaniel, the devil. Okay. Speaking of people that have shown up, the man himself is
Taylor. Here. How you doing?
Who sent me his reel for TPW? Maybe we should play that for the audience.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we're gonna play it because he's here. I'm gonna play it because it's James Taylor, and oh hell yeah, I'm gonna play it. Although the turning 41-year-old James Taylor, who I know in a Hell in a Cell match could not run, he could not run out of considering those knees of his. But let's certainly play. Let's play his most recent reel that he just sent me because, well, there can't be no other way other than me sending it. Get it, the James Taylor reference? But here he is. Is it playing? Let's try it again. You know what? Let's go. Click it back again.
There we go. I've been on social media for almost 20 years.
Wow, he's old.
And in 20 years, I've learned to realize that people are very selfish. People are very greedy. People want what they want. This week, I go one-on-one with Vinny V for TPW. This week, I go one-on-one with a guy who is the live champion. This week, ladies and gentlemen, the nemesis James Taylor goes one-on-one with a guy who's not really, is the V stand for vicious? You know, all I've seen on here.
Uh-oh, he's mad.
It's a bunch of damn crybabies.
We said
all I've seen on here is men who just think that they've got what it takes to do what they've got to do to be the absolute best in this world, but they can't get the job done. Not only can they not get the job done, when it's all said and done and the smoke is cleared, the dust is settled, they go cry about it. They go cry on social media. They go and cry to whoever it is that they feel like they need to bitch and moan about because I couldn't beat James Taylor. He said...
He's not talking about you.
He's so good.
Oh, I know.
The only thing I could find on him was that he said my name wrong. He didn't pronounce it right, so I should be the victor. That's a rule. Because he's a stone cold Steve Austin Dollar Tree Tenmu knockoff, a TikTok shop wannabe knockoff. He wants to be stone cold so bad. The thing is I don't understand how he's so good on the mic. The other thing I don't get is how is he so good in the ring that if I actually stepped in there, I'd get my ass kicked. Why is it that everybody bitches? Because they don't get their fucking way. Why is it that everybody really, truly, passionately thinks that they're the best? Now, mind you, you should feel like you're the best. But if you're not that good, then get good. There ain't nobody behind this fucking lens that's got more heart, that's got more passion, that has cried, lost sleep, drove miles and miles and miles, has bled for this business, has put every ounce of energy into this business. There's nobody that compares to me. None of you. Vinny V, you're next in line, pal. I am the be-all, end-all in this business, and you've got the time ticking. Think wisely before you say anything else, because I will knock your ass out, and there ain't nothing you or anybody else can do about it. Show me you got more passion than me. I dare you. I dare anybody to show that they've got what it takes to be better than me. I'm 40 years old. 4 decades I've been on this planet, and ain't nobody measured up. And just like someone else has said, nobody can keep up. When you're my age, I beg to see the difference. I just can't wait to see somebody at my level do the same thing that I do. I run a successful company. I have over 130,000 followers across all social media. I know how to get the job done at everything that I do, so prove me wrong. You know, I've been on social media.
Okay, now we'll take this off the screen. You tired there? What's the matter? You get ready for bedtime or
oh
what?
no, it's just the heart and the passion and the bullshit that just spewed out of his mouth just about killing him.
A lot of BS there.
I mean, because if we're going to talk about heart, we're going to talk about passion, and we're going to talk about everything. I mean, Taylor, I hope you're watching because I want you to know.
Oh, he's watching. He's definitely watching. We just played his promo. He's definitely watching. And you should come by on his birthday, April 25th. You should make sure when he's here.
Absolutely.
You should come in and tell him that Hell in the Cell match you proposed for your championship, that he should not show up for that because we know with his knees that we want to see him for the 42nd birthday and that he should not show up.
I'll make a promise about this.
Yes, sir.
If Taylor decides to step in that squared circle with me once more in a Hell in a Cell, you all will get to still have him around, except he's going to be paralyzed.
Oh, we don't want that. We want to see James Taylor, the fun-loving James Taylor that we know. We don't want to see that here on Sportswire Radio. We want to celebrate this man. We don't want that to happen. And certainly James Taylor's got some decisions, and he's going to be here on April 25th to celebrate his birthday. And Nathaniel Rage has already announced he's the first of many guests that is going to tell James Taylor exactly how he can make it to his 42nd birthday. I guess the Devil's Demigod is here. We've got a lot of comments here, and we're going to get to him. Deliverance has arrived, and Omen will make you squeal like a pig boy. Well, it's not pig season yet, but James Taylor is here. Yes, he is. And I'm worried for everyone right now. Well, you should be if you have a mutual fund and a 401k and that's your life savings. Good news for me, it's not, it's only a small portion, but there are people that, hopefully Monday doesn't come. Hello to James. James Taylor has entered the chat. What? And the chat is definitely alive now. Talking about the apple like the snake, but has the build of Eve. Well, Eve was an R&B singer, and she wasn't bad looking. Just saying. Anybody remember Eve?
I will say the same thing that so many have said to me. Let's quote the not so Anthony Steele. I'm not going to steal the show because I'd rather steal someone else's spotlight. He said last time he was on here, I believe.
Yeah.
If he wanted a one-on-one with the devil, I showed up. And then he shut up. And we went back and forth. Taylor, I believe, also said some things and I showed up the last time I was here.
Yes, we actually played a video of you to get the people going to hype them up. Yes, we did. We played it.
See, every person that has wanted to so-and-so call me out, I've showed up because, see, I'm just going to say it like this. I have nothing to fear. When you are truly sadistic, the only thing you can fear is yourself.
The only thing to fear is fear itself.
So, I mean, Omen can talk, Ox can talk. They can all congregate in a room together and go get steam showers for all I care, because that's what some of you all do, because it's manly. But at the end of the day, who's standing here? The TPW World Heavyweight Champion, who's sitting on his throne right now as the TPW and People's Champion, the longest reigning defending champion at that.
And I still have something I haven't given you yet. And it's going to add to that column and that resume. I put a lot of heart and thought into my most recent promo. We played the video. Nathaniel Rage, well, he had his opinions. James, I didn't say never. I think you're good with Omen Black. I'm not sure why you wouldn't be, but there you go. We can repeat that. The host looks like 12 to 12 tribes, and we are here in the Devil's Kingdom. So if you want to stay in the 12 tribes, then you can sit back down. But thank you very much for tuning in. Yeah, you can sit back down. When you get featured in Blabbermouth twice, let me know. But hello to the Nemesis, James Taylor. Come down to TPW, but we love you, though. Thank you for tuning in, though. Everybody else for tuning in. JD, come down to TPW. You tried all these things, but haven't tried TPW. That's a great idea, and I think everybody should come down to TPW. Rocky, come to ROBW, do all of this, but you can get, well, he's got his own company to run, and we're going to let Rocky decide on that. ROBW is in Michigan, and James Taylor owns it. Yeah, I thought James was on the show with, wow, what guys real life. Yeah, you know what? It's all good. We love everybody. Thank you very much for everybody tuning in. Who just yawned? That was Nathaniel. James Taylor should retire. Well, I mean, he might on April 25th if you tune in. After the loss, I took the work and put the work in. Devil's offers are getting more and more tempting, not going to lie. Remy Roberts, the Cajun Cruiser, has chimed in. And just move on. Next comment.
No, I'll discuss this for a minute.
Right.
See, Remy, you're talented and you want to be at a certain level, but you need to embrace me. You need to embrace that sadistic side. I need you, if you are seriously thinking it's tempting a little bit more, show me what you can do. You've been the good guy for so long. Would it really hurt you to truly be evil? Would it really hurt you to sit there and, as let's say a puppy dog was in the road and a car was coming, are you going to be the hero or are you going to be the villain? The choice is yours. My offer always stands. Anyone who wants to join is more than welcome.
I would say for the ASPCA people watching and listening, I will be that hero and rescue that puppy. I want to put that out there because we want to stay on the air. We've been featured in the heavy metal version of Rolling Stone twice, which is blabbermouth.net. And we've also been featured in Metal Injection, and we would rescue that puppy. And I have actually, in my home community, have done two actual stories similar to that. So it's up there. So I want to put that out there. Just to clarify, so we don't want to get thrown off the air.
Speechless, Taylor?
Well, he's, thank you, Kyle. We appreciate you very much. We appreciate the worrying. And I'll eat. Okay. Great promo. Yes, it was a great promo. I agree. My birthday is my 25th birthday is next month. When is your birthday? Let me know. We'll wish you a happy birthday. Yes, thank you. And you'll get 2 more subs from me. In a few minutes. Yep. Happy early birthday. You got 21 more days. And I'm going to come to you. You should join TPW. In fact, if you want to join TPW and if you're out there right now and you want to support Texas promos, I see a lot of people here tonight actually tuning in and out. The way you get in touch with TPW is right there. Give them a follow, give them a message, and tell them you were here on Sportswire Radio. You want to talk and join the company. And that's how you do it. Join the movement and support our friends in TPW. And Rocky himself will be here 15 days from now, 5 o'clock Eastern time, right before WrestleMania. So that's a great idea. Okay, thank you very much for that. And you're not that old. Yeah, he's not that old. And yep, I saw that. We'll check that out. Happy birthday, Zilla. We'll see you during the week. And here we go. I'm done pondering to the masses. I'm putting boots to asses. Somebody's listening. My DMs are open if anyone wants to join. And James Taylor, maybe James Taylor wants to join the cult. If you can't beat him, join him.
I mean, if you want to, Taylor, I give you more than props to join the cult because trust me, I'll give you something that you've not been able to do. I'll get you the chance to shut up Anthony Steele.
Oh, 4 years he's been trying. 4 years he's been trying. But if the devil was the puppy, I would just sit back and watch.
Oh, I would let it run me over because simply I can't die.
Well, you know what? But speaking of things, your career won't die here permanently because I have been waiting to give this to you as we're getting ready to close the show here very soon. And since, you've talked about all these accomplishments, you've talked about all these different things here. And if you would allow me to share my screen for a minute,
Absolutely.
I could. Oh, well, if you would, I'm glad you were able to do that because congratulations, Nathaniel Rage. You are the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. And there's my John Hancock. There's the certificate. There's the logo. There's the date. And there's the number. And we'll give you the physical copy when we're off the air. And congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate this.
You're very welcome.
It's always an honor. And I will say this. It's always an honor to get on to Sportswire because
I appreciate that.
I'm not gonna lie. Before Sportswire, people knew me, but they didn't know of me. They seen my stuff on YouTube, but they would bypass it. They seen, a name on a shirt, they wouldn't buy it. But now that they see it, and every time, Tom, that you say the devil Nathaniel Rage, I see immediate eyes.
You come up a lot. I mean, I think you've been, mentioned now for like on here about 7 months, like 7 or 8 months, something like that. And I mean, you frequently get mentioned. There's no question that you're one of the names that gets mentioned here quite a bit. The last half a year, and you coming to TPW like right after coming here and seeing the success that you've had in TPW, and seeing a lot of the TPW talent come onto the platform and. Some of the other guys that are from the wrestling world, mingle with you. I mean, yeah, there's no question that you're definitely a name that gets mentioned quite a bit.
Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to, and I will continuously say this, not because Rocky's paying me, but I'm just going to say this. If any of you all want to join TPW, I welcome you with open arms. Go after the IC title. Go after the hardcore title. Go after the tag titles. But be warned, Devin and my boy Lucifer might chew you up, but I will make you feel welcome. Because if you come after my gold, after my crown, I will chew you up, spit you out, and throw you over my castle wall.
Well, that might be an offer that you may or may not want to ponder, but we'll hope that the devil takes and accepts this offer here that we just put him in our Hall of Fame. And yes, I appreciate that very much. But yes, we've had some great moments with you, and it's always good to get you back on the platform. And we want to congratulate Nathaniel Rage on his work. And who else we have here in the chat? Can I have a copy of that on it? Yeah, I think that Mr. Taylor is basically opining for another Hall of Fame induction on April 25th. But like I said, the invite's welcomed for you. You're welcome to be here on April 25th. You should absolutely show up and attend and obviously talk to Mr. Taylor about that offer you had for him, and maybe he'll talk about the heart and passion, and maybe he'll figure out if he wants to or doesn't want to accept that offer.
Absolutely, because it would only be nice of me to give you a birthday gift, Taylor. And trust me, I have the ultimate gift. Because if you say yes, well, you're putting your career on the line. If you say no, well, it just proves something.
Well, I guess it might be too hip to be square, maybe figuratively and literally, but that was a great choice for the turning point music there. And Remy Roberts versus Devin Adams, and that's a good point. And congratulations to Nathaniel, absolutely. And I'm not the biggest on promo wrestling because I don't know a lot of the names, but Nathaniel, you are one of the names. Yeah, you're definitely one of the names. I do think that like the guys like Omen, Mr. Kron, obviously Steele, Taylor. I see Soldier in here. Some of those different guys. I think they come in and tune in to hear you because I think that you do conduct yourselves promo-wise in terms of how not everybody can cross over, and I think that you've shown some, crossover appeal that does get the pro wrestlers or the underground wrestlers to be interested. And, guys like Judas, for example, Trey Mysticality, who Darkron knows very well. He's been in a locker room with them, and they've crossed over to TPW. So I think that there is that why you do command, attention, because the way you carry yourself and the way you speak, I think does get guys, the veteran guys here, interested in it. Yeah, thank you, Jadarius, and I hope that you tune in anytime, and definitely message me. I'm on Instagram, the Sports Report 2021, and hope to see you here. And thank you for your support, and hope that you come here anytime. And Darkron doesn't suck. He's a legend, and he's definitely you come to TPW. TPW can help you improve. Well, he is the underground. Yeah, he could, but he's a busy man.
I will say this. Kron, if you come to TPW and you're truly, truly trying to, how would I say this? Enhance your craft.
Yes, sir.
There's a certain place, if you go about 15 miles towards Appalachian, make a jump over a hill and you find yourself in a cave, you might find a little offer that might be able to save you.
Well, I'll tell you what I'd like for people to do. And I got a bunch of people here on YouTube before we end the show here. He's got a YouTube channel that's got well over 1,000 subscribers. He's the host of a show called The Dark Chronicles, where he talks to different wrestlers. Today's guest is Soldier GP, the All Wrestling Matters World Heavyweight Champion. And they talk about some of the different matches, or a match in particular. Last week's guest was Omen Black, who talked about the historic triple threat match at the first ever IMF live indoor show, Winter Clash, where it was Omen Black, it was Matthew Forsaken, and Damian Singh. Quite a war that was. And Darkron does a lot of these type of situations. It's almost kind of like the Manning cast of underground wrestling. So check out his YouTube channel. Hit a sub button for him. I'd really appreciate that. He's a good man, and he's got a lot of stuff out on his page. Definitely very active guy, always supports us, and is in our Hall of Fame multiple times. He's our 2024 most inspirational wrestler of the year, and check him out there. Let's get to some more comments, and I would love to see Nathaniel Rage in those places. Well, stay tuned, and you have my contact. You want my darkest side. This is an invitation I won't refuse, and we can get you to that level. I want TPW to help people make that next step, and I want people to follow TPW again on Instagram, so you can check out there. And anything else you want to share before we get to closing thoughts? I mean, anything else that's on your mind that we should bring up?
Well, I guess the only thing I can say, because I know my little brother is watching right now.
You got some words for him, some final words?
I know he's already in here because he simply sent me a message and said, Keep talking your shit, and I'm going to put you down.
Oh, well, you're the devil. You can't go down.
Baby bro, the same thing has happened for many, many years. I have whooped your ass repeatedly through over the years, and you've not even came close. So if you're feeling froggy, you know where I live, you know where I stay. Come leap.
Well, Leaper's Messiah was certainly a famous Metallica song. Will it be a Leaper's Messiah for Christian Rage? I don't know, but the devil Nathaniel Rage was definitely in rare form tonight. He had plenty to say, plenty of names, plenty of familiar names, business that the cult has upcoming, and also all things related to TPW were talked about here and some. And oh, by the way, newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Yeah, add that to his resume. And can Zilla be an honorary member of the cult?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
If you truly want to be a member of the cult, go to the T Public page and buy yourself a cult tee.
I will put that up right now before we get to closing thoughts. Thank you very much for reminding me. And if you want to buy this shirt amongst many other shirts, you can do that here. I'm going to put the link up for this shirt. It'll actually forward you to Nathaniel's other shirts, other merchandises. So check that out right there. So there you go. You got that. And you can buy a bunch of other shirts from the cult. So definitely check that out right there. Nathaniel Rage merchandise, T-Page store. There you go. We'll put that link up here for everybody. So a lot of merchandise, 35% off deals. And no, we're not talking about tariff increases. We're talking about actually reductions here. So some people might want to increase tariffs. We here actually want to lower our costs for you. So we're buying merchandise. And it's 35% off. Check it out and join the movement here. And this is the devil, Nathaniel Rage, the TPW World Heavyweight Champion and the People's Champion. So I pass the baton to you. I give you some closing thoughts. Anything else you want to plug, share, or say? The floor is yours.
To my people of TPW, your king says one thing. I am watching ever so closely as you take a bite of the apple. As you sit there and ponder how you're going to brace yourself against your opponents this week, know that whoever impresses me, because I'm not looking at number one contenders, no, because for some reason, every time that I get put against a number one contender, they always end up eating the backside of my foot. I want you all to make me choose my next opponent. So I simply say this with the utmost disrespect. If you truly want me, come get me.
That reminds me of an 80s song that was Don't You Want Me, Baby? Now, that'll probably be another Rocky song he'll play for a TPW show. Was that, I'm trying to think, was that Adam Emotion? I think it was one of those 80s groups. But, that will have to be decided for another time who that was and what song. But Nathaniel Rage has now declared that come after me. Decide who should be my next opponent. Come to my YouTube channel. Tell me what should next be on the House of Rage Productions page. His brother, Kristen Rage? Well, guess what? If you lose, if you L to the O to the S to the E to him in that 3 stages of hell match, guess what? You're joining the cult. If you're the likes of Omen Black, yeah, come on down to TPW, but I'll come down to your ring in the IMF and we'll see who's the better man. James Taylor, you want that TPW World Heavyweight Championship? It's hell in the cell. And guess what? The cult are outside, and you can't potentially run because there's nowhere to go. If you're Anthony Steele, well, that's what I do, and he'll have plenty to respond to, I'm sure, when it comes to you. And especially if you're everybody else in the cult, you better take care of business this weekend. You better take care of business because while the devil may be off, he's far from off because he is watching very, very closely here tonight. And certainly what an appearance here tonight. This was the definition of prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage here. And we have plenty of TPW coverage ahead of you coming up again. Rocky is here April 19th, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Some of the guys in the IMF are here Thursday night. They're going to be here before that. You're going to see Anthony Steele, Omen Black. You're going to see James Taylor back on here. You're going to see Dark Crown, a slew of your favorites. They're all going to be here very, very soon. And this was the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, the one and only Devil himself, Nathaniel Rage. My friend, congratulations. Welcome back to Sportswire Radio. I can't wait to see you again here very soon. And this was definitely Friday night in rare form. I'm definitely fired up for TPW stuff ahead. And I hope that we get to see those matches. Quite a WrestleMania-like main event here in promo wrestling. Anthony Steele, James Taylor, WrestleMania weekend, and maybe you and Omen Brock to start what could potentially be to come, and who knows, whatever else. But congratulations, my friend. Thank you so much for all you do for our sport, and we'll see you soon. I know very, very soon.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and one more thing before I go. Omen. Beyond the whispering willow, down right underneath the roots, if you truly, truly want what cannot be inhabited, you must find something in yourself. And I don't think the boogeyman of the Midwest is what you're looking for. I think you're looking for something else.
Oh, this is the first person, ladies and gentlemen, that's looked the boogeyman in the eyes, and he seems to be comfortable in an environment with a boogeyman, comfortable with an environment of a hardcore guy. This is the first person I've seen directly go head on with Omen Black. I've seen guys previously with last names of Rage, and they cowered for years. I've seen guy after guy come on here, and they're almost they can't do anything. They're ducked. They would duck and duck and duck until they couldn't roll with the punches. But not Nathaniel Rage.
All in the smile. That's all you have to do, Omen. You just have to smile.
Well, we are going to find out, because Omen Black is coming back to his platform very, very soon. And I have no doubt he'll have plenty to say about that here and some. But this is the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. He is the TPW World Heavyweight Champion, the People's Champion. He is the Devil, Nathaniel Rage. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. You have voice figuratively and literally where all wrestling matters. If you're here on Sportswire Radio tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, Torrance Banks of House of Misfits Entertainment. He'll talk about NEW. He'll talk about the riot in the ring. He'll talk about what's going on at home. Plus, Sunday, you'll see a few people from the IMF working on that shortly. So stay tuned for that. I may or may not be on the air in a little while. If not, it'll be tomorrow afternoon. But until then, also the Deathmatch Juggalo Brian White will be here. So that'll be an interesting conversation, to say the least, with him. But until then, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Hit the sub button for us. Hit the sub button for Nathaniel Rage. Go follow TPW. And until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, where you are. On another one, Global Radio Station, that is Sportswire Radio, where all wrestling rests. Thanks, everybody.